We are live. We are live.
I
How
love
was
it.
your Mother's Day, man? You spoiled your wife?
Oh man, we had a good time. We just moved out to Phoenix, Arizona. So and our both of our parents are back in Michigan. So we made a phone call. We're gonna go back and see them next month and hang out with them and kind of celebrate the right way. But yeah, man, we had a blast here.
How was it out in Arizona? When I was in Florida last week, and matter of fact, when I went to North Carolina, it's almost like COVID skipped over them. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not
right.
even wearing masks, dude. They're just
No, dude, it's just a whole different ball game there. Whole different ball game. I mean, we were just talking about another event going on in Florida. I think that's why we're seeing a lot of Florida events because a little bit easier to navigate around
oh,
some of the stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, if you want to go to a live event, usually you're not as concerned, and so they want to kind of do it, as maskless as possible, which some people aren't comfortable with, which is fine. But yeah, so I think that's why a lot of people are gravitating to the southeast. North Carolina, Georgia, you know what I mean? Florida.
I'm like, did y'all know? Did COVID skip? I'm walking around no mask. I'm like, does COVID skip here?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
How is it out there? We're still masked up here.
You're Virginia, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, Arizona pulled it. I don't know. Arizona pulled it a little bit ago, but I mean, it's all business dependent. Some businesses are a little bit stricter. Some businesses are like, you know what, we've been kind of waiting for this day. Come and go as you please. Maybe the employees are still wearing. A lot of our restaurants are waitresses aren't even, or waiters aren't even wearing masks. And
Okay.
yeah,
And
so
so
we're
wow.
good evening. Good evening. We're moving forward. So
Okay.
that feels good for everybody. I think to move, just take that next progressive step. Let's keep moving forward. And I think people like that. So
I know you're missing being on the stage.
ah, missing being on that stage, brother. Missing being on. But you know what the blessing was is this year, it taught me to learn from people like you and learn to use a different stage. You know what I mean?
Different media.
Different media, same thing. We still want to impact people. We just got a different stage. And so it really helped me kind of reevaluate and learn from people like you and others that are making a huge impact without being on live stages and impacting more people than I was on live stages. So I thought to myself, well, if the point is impact and not my ego, then let's start leveraging some of this other stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to let the ego get in up on that stage, man. It's
Yeah.
becomes not about people, and that was never my goal. But I'm not saying I didn't fall prey to it, but I'm just saying that, you know what I mean.
That speaking, the pastors, man, that speaking is it's addictive.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like a
especially
drug. It's like
making people laugh and having fun with people. It's like the legal drug, man.
it is. It is, man. When they start talking back to you, you're like, all right, let's get this
Yeah,
thing
I
rolling.
know, man. You just can't get it, and that's where that adrenaline, you get that adrenaline pumping, and there's just nothing like it. And so
Yeah.
it is fun. I am excited to get back on stage. That's for sure. So
Cool.
we'll
Cool.
see what happens, man.
Greetings, Roundup Homies. What's going down? Multifamily investing. Yo, you guys know I'm a single family guy. We may not know. I'm Chris Haskins. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. In doing that, I get to rub elbows with some experts in this business, masters of the game. And you have one tonight. Mike Fritz is going to be talking about multifamily investing. What up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Chris? It's so good. It's so good to hang with you, man. It's been a while since we've been able to hang a little bit, and been so crazy. So it's good to see you. Good to see you, all the amazing things you're doing, and all the people that are coming in. So I'm excited to be here, brother. Excited to be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I had you on this year.
I know, man. It's been a crazy year. It's
Wow.
been a really good year, but it's been crazy for us being able to connect and
Mhm.
and drop some wisdom, man.
So y'all don't know this. We go back and forth. Mike's busy moving. I'm doing business where all of us are buying and selling real estate. Having to come together is a task. We have to put it on the schedule. We has to clear his time. I got to clear my time. This is not an easy thing, It's not like we're just sitting around like, who gonna call today? Who gonna call today?
I wish, man. Some days I wish I had a day like that where I could just chill. But no, and I even watch you, man, having an amazing family that you're caring for. I'm like, oof, I don't have kids, so that even impresses me like 10 levels higher than me.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So Mike is settled in. Tonight I asked him to come on here. I know he's buying and selling multifamilies all the time. And for me, I document my single family, but I don't get to document any multifamily. So I'm like, Mike, what are you doing? Just kind of share with us what you got going on. I love the pictures, and you show me all how you put this stuff together. It's really amazing.
Yeah, man. Multifamily for me, over the last few years, when I started to really niche down into this one asset of real estate, the first thing I realized, and this goes for all real estate, you'll get way more real estate done focusing on one strategy for an extended period of time versus focusing on every strategy all the time. And
Master of none.
Yep, exactly. And I've watched you do this. I've watched other real estate entrepreneurs and successful people do this. And they didn't try to wholesale and fix and flip and buy storage units and they didn't try that. Or what they did was they stuck to one specific like lane of real estate and just went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Because part of being, especially when you start raising money, which I know, Chris, you were talking about raising money recently on your channel. Part of raising money is investors want to invest in an expert. They don't want to invest in a jack of all trades.
Generalist,
yeah. They don't want to invest in what do you call it? Jack of all trades, master of none, right? They want to invest in the master, not the jack of all trades. And so by sticking with it long term, man, you start shaking loose people that just, they want to hop on your journey when they start seeing you become successful, whether you're in subject to or singles or multis. Me is a multifamily game, and I love it, but it's that lane, man. When I picked that lane, everything changed, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I found the same thing. It's like if you hear you're doing that, you hear even the generalist, in my opinion, even Dan Kennedy says the specialist makes all the money. The generalist does, they do okay, but the specialist goes in for the kill,
He said one time from stage, who do you think get paid? The general doctor, the general doctor for a family, or the brain surgeon?
That's right.
Or the heart surgeon? Those surgeons always make more money because they've got a specialty in one niche. And it's the same thing with real estate. And what multifamilies allowed me to do, the reason I like multifamily real estate is it brought together a couple things. Number one, it brought together passive income, money that's coming in month after month after month, right? My goal was always to create revenue so that whether I closed on a deal or not, like I wanted to create passive monthly revenue, whether I closed on a deal or not. I used to do a lot of fix and flipping as well. And I had to close in order to earn. Not that those are great paydays. Oh man, I used to love those paychecks, but I didn't get any passive. So I'm like, how do I get passive income month after month after? And so I started looking at multifamily real estate. In fact, let me hear in the chat if any of you have ever heard, maybe your parents, aunts and uncles, brothers, sisters, anybody, have you ever heard anybody say money doesn't grow on trees? Throw that in the chat if you've ever heard somebody say money doesn't grow on trees. Real quick, just throw it in. I want to hear from our peeps if you've heard people say money doesn't grow on trees.
You're crazy.
And let me tell you what I say to people that say that. People that say money doesn't grow on trees have never owned multifamily real estate.
They don't get the right tree.
You just got to own the right tree, man, because it grows every single month, and then the next month, and then the next month, and the next month. And so you just got to own the right kind of assets. And so, yeah, everybody's saying yes, yes, yes. Yep, Kimberly, Bud. Yeah, exactly. And so money doesn't grow on trees. Exactly. And people say that. And I think they're saying that to highlight how difficult money is to earn. Well, that's the last thing I want my mindset here. And by the way, just a side note, but I wanted something passive. And that's where multifamily, niching into this multifamily space, I learned, oh, wow, this passive revenue is cool. But here's the cool thing. The reason why wholesalers and fix and flippers love that niche is they get those great shots of cash, which is awesome, right? What a lot of people don't know about multifamily is when you close on a multifamily deal, if you structure it right, you can still get that hit of cash and then get the monthly cash flow after that. And so if you structure it correctly. And so multifamily, man, I focus all my days finding deals, finding money with one asset. I want to be known for one asset. Multifamily real estate. And so, yeah, man, when I switched to that, it all started to get a little easier to find deals and find money because people started seeing Mike as a multifamily guy, not an everything guy. You know what I mean? And so that changed. Yeah, I hope it does grow on trees. It does, my friend. It does. You just gotta play in the right. You gotta plant the right trees. That's all, or buy the right trees.
Plant all right. You know
what I mean?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And so for me, multifamily was always about passive cash flow. And then when I learned how to do it correctly, it was about, wow, I also get the leverage of what's called forced appreciation. Now that's kind of a little bit more technical term, but all that means is when a bank looks at multifamily, they see a business, they don't see a property. What that means for you is if you increase the income of that property, you increase the value of that property. So most of us know when you buy a home and sell a home, that home is dictated, the price of that home is dictated by the market it's in, right?
Yeah.
Well, multifamily, it has that dictation, meaning it is in an area and it'll dictate a little bit. But multifamily, you can force appreciate that value by increasing the income. And so I'm like, wow, what if I could dictate the speed limit of appreciation in a property? What if I could dictate that by raising rents and getting the property up to market value? So then I'm like, okay, so if that's where I can earn, take it one step back further, then what am I looking for? I'm looking for properties that aren't performing. I'm looking for properties where the rents aren't where they should be for that market. I'm buying those properties, focusing there. We call those value add opportunities. You look at those properties, and that's where you see your scale. So think about this, man. You buy one property that's cash flowing month after month after month. Then 6-8 months later, you buy another one. You buy 2 properties a year, 5 to 10 years, 5 years, I'd say, you're retired. You buy the right properties. I ain't kidding you. I'm not joking. And so that's why I started falling in love with this game of multifamily. But here's my most hated lie of multifamily real estate. And maybe you've heard it. Multifamily has been touted as this piece of, it's kind of like where you graduate to. It's like you do this and do this, but when you can finally get there, you go to multifamily. I hate that. And here's why. It makes people think that are just getting into real estate that it's out of reach. I want to tell you something. If you're listening, every single one of you, I don't care about your background, I don't care how much money you have in the bank, every single one of you can do multifamily the way that I teach it, because it isn't dictated on what neighborhood you grew up in. It isn't dictated on how much money you have in the bank. It's dictated on how much systems you have in your head. And if you learn that system, I don't care what people have told you, you can do this. You know what I mean? And that's a lie. One of my missions is squashing that and making it available to everybody. I don't care any background, any socioeconomic area. It doesn't matter to me. Throw that all out. There's a system you can learn and you can pull this off.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was rereading Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant, and he says business owners and investors focus on systems. Focus on systems.
Yeah, focusing on systems is a huge one, because the truth is, this is whatever piece of real estate you're getting into, it's a system. Getting it is a system. Running it is a system. Selling it is a system. Making it worth more money is a system. And if you don't have that's the only difference. There is no difference in real estate between the haves and the have-nots. The only thing the haves have are systems. They have the systems that get them stuff, and the have-nots, they just don't have those systems yet. And our goal is to say that's why Chris's whole thing exists, and why we exist is we want to give the systems to every person that's out there, so it's available to no matter what. You just got to get a hold of those systems.
Yeah,
and that's what really turns the dial, man.
Is thinking about what I've been really focusing on mindset lately. Is thinking about systems just a mindset change, like a habit change, Mike, as opposed to thinking about working or thinking about laying floor tile or what? I mean, is it the thoughts that you think about?
Oh my gosh, Chris, you just dropped it, brother. 150%. And here's why. Some of you are systematic thinkers, like you're analytical people. You think in systems. I mean, when you start to, I had a friend of mine that used to track his marriage on a spreadsheet. Like, that's a systems guy. Like, I ain't that much of a systems guy, by the way. I mean, he'd track everything you can imagine. And yes, even that on a spreadsheet. And so to me, I'm like, yeah, that's a little too much. But I will be fully transparent. I am not an organized systems thinker. I have to force myself to think systematically, like do this, then this, then this, then this. And then I can put people in place that help do those things so I can do things faster. I don't think that way by nature. That's just not me. I'm more of I grew up in a home where my parents owned a couple rental properties and we never hired a property manager. We did everything ourselves. If the toilet broke, we went and fixed it. If the heating broke, we went and fixed it. So I grew up in a family, and all my mom's side, big family. My grandpa was a very wealthy real estate investor, really wealthy. Actually, he was a wealthy timber buyer, made millions and millions of dollars in the timber industry. Wow. And then he invested a lot of that into real estate. But here's what's interesting. His kids managed all his properties for him, but all of his kids that own property self-manage. I'm like, man, where's the breakdown here, right? Your dad, who was a very, very wealthy entrepreneur, he had somebody managing it so he could continue to grow the business, but that never translated in what I grew up thinking the same thing. I had to have somebody like a Chris or somebody say, Mike, dude, you're not doing this. I mean, Chris has adjusted my mindset on a couple things lately that I'm like, man, that's so true. I got to shift my systems and my thinking, because hanging out with the right kind of people, it's what changes those systems, right? I mean, Jim Rohn said, you're the average of your income will be the average of the 5 people you hang around. Why is that? Because those 5 people have different financial blueprints and systems in their head. And I'm not naturally a systems guy. So take heart. If you're not a systems guy or girl, take heart. You can learn this. This is a learned skill. So don't think just because I have properties and I buy them a lot that, oh, he's got a whole, believe me, I fall on my face, flat on my face of the systems I don't have all the time. So I assure you.
On a personal side, is your wife a sister? Because my wife she's a walking computer. So what about you?
Yeah, there is. My wife, I call her, I don't say this in a bad way, but I used to, if anybody ever heard that movie Rain Man, that just never forgot anything with Tom Cruise and I forgot the guy that actually was called Rain Man. I forgot Anthony Hopkins.
Dustin Hoffman.
Or Justin. There it is. And so anyway, he I call because she's just like, she never forgets anything. I mean, like she just is so, I'm like, how do you do? Like today I get a text out of nowhere. She's like, hey, make sure you check in for your flight. I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm like, I forgot I even had a flight tomorrow. You know what I mean? So she's just like, she keeps me on point. So yes, she's a major systems person.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know what it is. If you take the disc analysis, like I'm an I, my wife has a 0 eyes. Like we're complete opposites. So I've been blessed with that. It sounds like you were too.
Yeah, opposites attract. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm like high D. Like the middle. It's D in between D and I. I'm like high D, high I. Like right on that line.
People versus processes. So.
Exactly. And that's me. I mean, because to me, I'm not a process person. A former pastor. I'm just a people guy. That's me, man. That's me. And but yeah, dude, it's absolutely phenomenal. But one of the cool things of multifamily is once you access it, once you learn it, you know it forever, and you can keep buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. And the cool thing about this system, you can transplant this system to any form of buy and hold real estate. That's the cool thing. So if you want to start buying storage units or mobile home parks, the process is the same, which is really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yeah.
Mike Fritz on here. He's gonna. Matter of fact, I wanted to see. He just bought a unit. And he was showing me some pictures earlier, and I'm like, you know what? This would just be, in my opinion, would be cool to share with the Roundup fans. Yeah. Just kind of show them what you've been doing. Or why not?
Dude. Let's do this. So, do I need to share, Chris, or can they see it?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, tell me to hit the button.
Go ahead and hit the button, my friend.
Let's do it. So you're gonna give us some stories, right? You don't just throw it. Don't.
Absolutely. So this, can you see this, Chris, or is it black?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm looking good.
All right, you got it. I'm gonna play in this window.
Roundup. Let me let everybody know real quick. If you want to support the channel, there is a link right there in the video. I'm sorry, you don't even got it. It's a link that says join. Set up a small, just something, giving my busy professionals a little something extra. We are allowing the members to ask questions first, just for the busy entrepreneur that don't want to wait to the end of the broadcast. It will cost you nothing but a large Starbucks coffee once a month, Roundup, to support the channel and help me to continue making this content to keep blessing you. That button, it'll be a join right there, right below the screen, and it does not work on iPhones. I don't know why. Doesn't work on iPhones. Stupid iPhone.
Stupid iPhone, man.
All
They're
right.
always messing it up.
Messing it all up.
Messing it all up. Yeah, this is a deal I just bought in South Bend, Indiana. It's about 15 minutes from the Notre Dame campus, so it's not necessarily like leveraging the Notre Dame name, although it's got a really good growth track in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a 34 unit deal. It's 32 units, and then it comes with a duplex out front that we're going to peel off and probably sell separately because we're going to be able to get a lot of revenue out of that one duplex. But this is a 32 unit building. I'll show you a few more aerial shots. This out here that you can see is two duplexes side by side. We own the one on the left as you're looking at it, right next to that shed. And that comes with, so it's 32 units of apartments and then a duplex, which is 34 units. And so we started looking at this deal. So we found this, we started looking for deals in the area. And let me tell you, all multifamily deals are driven by broker relationships. And that means commercial real estate agent relationships. That's how they're driven. And here's the cool thing about this. This wasn't even for sale.
What?
We called the owner and asked them if they'd be interested in selling. And so that's one of the things with multifamily. People that depend on the MLS will never get the good deals. And so we saw this building, liked the area, said, let's call them up and see if if our price matches what they feel like a win-win is. Anytime I do this, I try to remember that book Stephen Covey wrote, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's got to be a win-win, right? Highly effective people look for everybody to win who's involved in the transaction. So we don't want to buy it from them at such a depressed rate where they don't feel good about it. So we try to find a price that they feel good about and we feel good about. And so we found that price and ended up being 1.4 million for this project. And that's 34 units. And I'll walk you through some of the numbers in a minute. Some of the interior photos. And that one there was one of the few we could snag away because this is 100% occupied. That's why we had a hard time getting pictures of interior units. It's 100% occupied. So there's not one single vacant unit, which is really, really good. And so really, you can see a really nice little building. It's a beautiful little building, new roof. You can see there on that picture on the right. And one of the things, kind of a side note, when you go to multifamily buildings, often the quality of the cars will tell you a lot about the quality of the tenancy.
I see that old truck over there on the left.
Yeah. And so you just want to look at that. Now, you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but you also just want to look. And you also have those people that care about their car and don't care about their house. So they'll dump loads of money. They'll drive a brand new Mustang into the parking lot, but they'll trash their unit. So it's not an exact science, I assure you. It's just something we look at. And we've even had people show up in their friends' cars for interviews and applications. Yeah, when they're turning in their application, man, they drive a nicer car. And I'm like, hey, where'd the other car? Oh, that was my sister's. I'm like, yeah. And so they got me.
Hold up, Mike. Let me do this roundup. I don't see but 5 thumbs up on here. Y'all need to smash that like button if you're getting any value out of this session here tonight. Please hit that. There's a thumbs up button. Come on now. I don't see any participation in that.
Bring it.
All right. Sorry about that, Mike.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah. So this 34 unit deal, and the power of doing these deals is what I'm going to show you in the numbers, right? So the deal itself was a really cool deal. Again, we found it through a broker. The broker reached out to the seller for us, by the way. The broker reached out to the seller for us and asked if they'd want to sell. First, they said no. We talked to them, kept talking. Took us 3-4 months to just kind of continue to stoke the conversation. Then they turned over to saying yes. And so we finally got him to the table.
How was that? Tell me about that conversation. Was that you or the broker started it out?
So I was coaching it. The broker was fulfilling it. So the broker was actually doing the conversation. So they called him up and said, hey, I have a multifamily home buyer in our area that's looking at your property and would be interested. And this is the line I have brokers use, or if I'm doing the negotiation, I use this exact line to say, I have a multifamily home buyer in the area. That's the broker. If it's me personally, I am a multifamily home buyer in the area.
Yep.
And I was wondering about your property at so-and-so address. If we could find a price that was a win for you, would you be interested in selling?
Oh shoot, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so that's why we get conversations, because they're like, everything's for sale for a price.
That's
If
right.
we can find, and we also say, if we can find a price that's a win for you and also makes sense for us, would you be interested?
I love it. Y'all got it. Wow, that was powerful right there, Mike. Say that again.
Yeah. So the line we use is, if we find a deal, or I mean, I'm so and so. I've got a multifamily home buyer in our area, and he's looking at your property at so and so address.
Mm-hmm.
If we could find a price that is a win for you and also works for him or her, would you be interested in having a conversation or selling your property?
Wow, man, that's powerful, y'all.
And
I
so
never.
that really separates you, right? That separates you because, first of all, what am I leading with? The win for them.
What's in
And
it for
that's
me?
what I'm
Yeah,
telling
that's the
you.
only thing they care about anyway.
Exactly. That's all they care about. They just care about, listen, I know you like me. I know you say you like me. You want to, go to my kids' games. All I care about is what you're going to pay me. What are you going to pay me? And if I lead with that, say, listen, I know creating a win for you is a must in this deal. That's what that tells them. And if they know it's a must, and they know it's a must, even more importantly, if they know it's a must, now they're willing to have a conversation.
At least talk to you. Even you might be crazy, but they'll at least talk to you.
They'll at least have a conversation. Because the truth is, we've done this before, and then found out that they wanted more than we could pay. And so we said, you know what? With where you need to be, I can see why you want to be there, because this is a beautiful property.
Validate.
I just can't make the numbers work to make sense for our team. And then I don't stop there. Do you have any other properties? Question one. Question two, or do you know anybody else in the area who might be interested in selling if we could find a right price for them? Because if I've gotten them to the table and it's a no on their property, maybe it's a yes on one of their other properties, because a lot of owners own multiple properties, or maybe they know somebody who would be interested, and et cetera. And so anyway, that is one of the more powerful ways you could get those brokers to the table.
You get some hand claps on that one, Mike. Got some hearts and some thumbs up on that one. That was a beast.
Good. I'm glad. All you people are great.
I'm bringing you in and out when you're talking. I'm bringing you back in, so you don't have to. I can see you real good.
All right, cool.
So I took it down right there. I'll put it back up when you're ready. Oh, you ready? Yeah, I took it down when you just dropped that nugget. I just took you off.
I'm gonna pull. I tell you what, I am gonna do though. I'm gonna pull you guys over here, so on my other screen, so I can see the beautiful faces and thumbs up and everything. Okay, cool. So we got this down for 1.4 million, and we started writing the numbers, and here's what it looked like. The net income per year was $39,000. So it made $39,000 a year, this whole package. So it made about 40 grand a year, this specific deal. So then what you have to think about is like, okay, the only way I know my return on investment is knowing how much I have to actually put into the deal to get the property. Okay.
When you say put in the deal, make sure you clarify that, Mike.
When I say put in the deal, I'm talking about what's the down payment, because we're going to get a lender for the rest of this. I'm going to put in probably 25%. My battery just went, y'all just hang on. She's coming back.
All right.
I charge these batteries, and sometimes they decide to go a little early. My bad. Can you see me, Chris?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. So when I say how much cash to close, when I say cash, $395,000 cash to close, here's what that includes. That includes down payment, 25% down payment, appraisal, inspection, closing costs, and it includes a fee for you putting the whole deal together. And I'm going to share with you what that fee is in a moment. So we need $395,000 to put this deal to bed, and then we get a lender for the rest. And so we need $39,000. Now, here's the cool thing. Here's why I say multifamily is available for everybody. You might say, Mike, I can't get a loan for what, $1 million, just over $1 million? I can't get a loan for that. Here's the cool thing. In the multifamily space, partnerships are nearly expected. So what you do is there's 3 ways to bring value to a deal. Money, loan power, actually 4. Money, loan power, operations, or the deal itself. 4 ways to bring value. So let's say you don't have the loan power. No worries. You can go get somebody who has the loan power, and they'll come on for just a piece of the equity.
What loan power means? Loan power, break that down, Mike.
Yeah, loan power just means they can get the loan.
credit, their income.
they've got the credit, they've got the business credit, they've got the background with the banks. Like people have asked me, I just had a guy bring me a big deal in Texas because he couldn't get the loan. And I took 50% of that deal. He's doing all the work. I took 50% of that deal because I was the one who could get the loan.
Holy cow.
And so you see how but here's the powerful thing. You can get deals done even if you aren't able to get a loan. That's the power of multifamily, is it's a partnership game. You need to be in community in this industry. So 395 includes down payment. It includes closing costs, appraisal, inspection, all the due diligence that you have to do with any property, but it also includes an acquisition fee. That's a fee you charge for putting this whole deal together. Who pays you for finding the deal, raising the money, all of that stuff? You actually can charge a fee. Watch what I'm going to do on this deal.
I love that.
Let me pull back.
It's almost like a wholesale fee for yourself, I guess.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is, Chris. That's exactly what it is. It's a wholesale fee for yourself for the deal. That's exactly right. And I raised 100% of that from investors. I didn't put a single penny of my own pocket into that deal. Not
Sweet.
a penny. So I raised 100% of it from private investors, and I gave 70% equity of the deal to the investor. So that means of the $39,000 a year, they're going to get 70% of that, and I'm going to get 30% of that. So 100% of of that 39,000, they're getting 70. I split all my deals 70% to my investors, 30% to me.
That's net. So that's income. That is it. That's the bottom line.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Man. And so here's what this looks like for you. So I decided, I kept thinking, because Chris was like, just show us the deal. I'm like, okay, what's that look like though? What can I really share on this deal? And I thought, here's what I'll do. This is the bottom line of the deal. Let me show you what that means for you as the investor. What do you actually make in this structure? So that means $11,700 of the net rents and cash flow comes to me every year because I get 30%, right?
What are they? 2 bedrooms, Mike, or what are they?
Great question, Chris. Of the 32 units in the apartment building, all of them are 1 bedroom.
Oh, they what? Okay, so that's what.
All ones, and then the duplex is 1, 2, and 1, 3.
Oh man, sweet.
Yeah, so it's yeah, exactly. So it's all ones. Great question.
What are they? $700? What are they rent?
Yeah, so actually they're low right now. They're at $475.
Wow.
For a 1 bedroom, but they can go to $575, some even $625, and this is why we're going. This is why we wanted this building. There's a lot of $475.
That is like a storage space. I mean,
it's so
I didn't know
true.
I'm like, that's like a parking space.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Now, Indiana is a little bit lower rents.
No doubt.
One of the reasons we love Indiana, it has really landlord-friendly laws. And what that means is if a tenant's not keeping up their end of the bargain, it makes it easier for you to replace them with a tenant that will, or help get them assistance. Because we don't just boot somebody out if they don't pay. We want to help them get assistance if they can, especially in these COVID times. We've come alongside, quite a few tenants said, let us help you. We'll help you. We'll go to the place, help you fill out the paper. We'll help you get all this stuff, but let us help you, and they have to let us, but so 11.7 will come to me of the actual income, right? And I charged a 2% acquisition fee. This is 2% of 1.4 million. So at 2%, I'm going to make $28,000 the day we close. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to charge a 2% asset management fee. Let me tell you what an asset management fee is. So the whole building brings in $193,000 a year gross of all the income. You can charge a 2%. You can charge a 2% fee to manage the manager, and here's why: when the toilet breaks down, property manager is going to go over there. But what if they need to call you for something? Who's managing the manager? You are. Who's getting paid for that? Well, nobody, unless you put it into the deal. So here's what I do: management's 8%. For most of these deals in this area, I negotiate with my property manager to do it for 6%. I keep the extra 2%, so my investor never feels the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want my investor to pay for it. I want I want to negotiate that fee for myself. I don't want to push it onto my investor, if possible. Does that make sense?
Skills come in. Gotcha.
Yeah, and so 2% of 193,000 is $3,860 per year, not per month. So that's just over $350 $320 a month. Yeah, something like that. So it's just over $300 a month. So look what this equals. The first year of ownership, I'm going to make $43,560 on this deal. First year of ownership. because of my acquisition fee. My second year, I'm going to make 15,560, and I'm going to make 15,560 for as long as I hold it. And if the rents never go up, by the way. If the rents go up, you make more and more and more and more, obviously, right? But here's the cool thing about this. How much money do I have into the deal?
I don't see anything in this.
Boom. I didn't put any money. So $15,000 for nothing. That's a pretty good return if you got your calculator there. And so this is why. So people ask me, why do I love multifamily? This is why, because you don't have to, you can charge your investors for you doing all the work. And by the way, if you don't charge these fees, it's hard to do this. This is when I talk about replacing your income with multifamily, I actually mean it. If you charge the fees, your first year of ownership is $43,000. You do 2 of those a year, $80,000 a year. That's a good starter salary, not even counting your rents that you're going to make year after year after year, right? You do a couple of these a year, and you've got quite an income going. And so that's why I'm not talking about doing a deal a month or 3 deals a month. I'm talking about doing 2 deals a year. 2 deals a year, man. This is not like, let's just blow. No, I'm talking about consistent. Most people that are talking about you getting 1,000 units are crazy. Listen, you don't want 1,000 units. Maybe you do, but most people don't want it. They want enough money to be able to go take their kids to the beach and just hang for a day without issues. That's what they want. You know what I mean? And depending on how much money you want, you can buy as many as you want to get there. But the truth is, a couple deals a year, 5 years, 10 deals.
No, you
times that at 15,000 by 10. So you do 10 deals in 5 years. That's $150,000 retirement salary. Welcome to retirement in 5 years.
Sweet. Or let me ask you, Mike, are you putting something aside for repairs? Tell me what your mind, as you're managing this, what does it look like? Yeah.
So that 193,000, we plan on 10%. So when I talk about 39,000 in net, that is already taken 193,000.
That's the gross. 193 is gross.
What's that? Now 193 is gross, but I take 10% out of that number, which is 19,300. I take $19,000 a year and set it aside for repair. So I plan on a 10% repair budget. So
that's already gone before the 39,000 net.
Oh yeah. And that's net on. That's after your mortgage payment. That's after everything.
So in a good year, you could make more than. I mean, does the repairs roll over? I mean, I'm sorry. Does repair escrow roll over year to year, or do you?
No. So I only take what I need. It's not that I put it into an account. I just plan on it being about 10%.
Okay.
And so like if we have one tenant move out in a year and we need to put 3,000 into the unit to get it freshened back up so we can get those higher rents, that comes into that. So we're in that 15 to 20,000 a year. And so that's really what we plan for. And so that I don't really escrow it. So some years it's a little more, some years it's a little less.
Gotcha. All right. Just curious about that. It could be more money. You can make more. I mean, it could be. Some years you get more, some years you get less. I was listening to Buffett today. I just love his insight. He's like, I anticipate some years are going to be great. Some years are going to be okay. And then some years I'm just going to lose my shirt, and I had never even, Mike, until I heard that, I had never even thought about my business. Like, you know what, man, I'm going to lose money sometimes in my life.
It's such a good reminder, dude. I have a buddy of mine. We just bought a building from. He's in the hotel industry. He owns about 30 hotels. He's a very wealthy man. But can you imagine what COVID did to the hotel industry?
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, he owns 30 hotels. Do that math when nobody's traveling. And so the PPP loan kept him afloat. But he told me this year, he goes, the PPP loan, he goes, I lost money this year, but that just kept us in business.
Just flatline.
Yeah, just flatline. Nothing. He goes, I had to inject some money into the business, but pretty much this year we were able to just stay afloat, and now he's trying to climb back out of it. But Airbnb, VRBO, Furnish Finders, all these companies that are getting really, really, really big, taken out. They got killed. And now when they come back, because COVID travelers, they're like, well, I feel a little less comfortable in a hotel with a bunch of people than I do in a single home. So Airbnb and VRBO, they took a big spike where hotels haven't taken that big spike yet.
Not yet.
And so, but my point in saying that is some years, dude, you got to play the game, man. Some years you get whopped upside the head, and other years you're like, I love it.
You know what, man? I don't think us being just a younger generation doing business, we don't have that macro of just looking at. I know I don't. I'm like, man, I need to make. I'm trying to make money every year, like boom, boom, boom. But
No, I hear what you're saying, dude. And this is why I like real estate from a perspective of, yeah, the repairs might be a little higher. But the beautiful thing is, I joke about the money tree, but I'm not joking. It pays every single month. And we don't buy properties with such a slim margin that, I mean, sometimes we'll buy properties with a slim margin and we'll just go ahead and know first year we're going to lose money. I bought a 23 unit portfolio, bunch of single families and multifamilies together. And I didn't make money for a year. In fact, I put 50 grand into it, but I got it on seller financing. Didn't have to put anything down. So my down payment was renovating the property. I didn't make money for a full year and 4 months. And this last month, April, was my very first profitable month on that. So I was willing to not make any money for 12 or 13 or 14 months. But think about that. Chris and I are actually telling you the truth. Most people aren't going to tell you, dude, buying a piece of real estate, it might make sense. The best thing you can do might be buy a piece of real estate that doesn't pay you for 2 years. And then all of a sudden, now this portfolio is going to pay me $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month, almost my stinking business. I mean, it's huge.
That's how real estate is, man. I mean, I'm just looking at the houses that I bought and paid off over the years. I'm like, I struggled for so many years, but it's got to be there for the long term, guys. Long haul, man.
Yeah,
long game, as Nate would say.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's what it will be first year and second year, and I think that and the rents will go up, and so that'll continue to go. But that's just our recent deal, and we closed on this one, and we're getting ready to close on our biggest deal ever. Love all these gold nuggets. Love it.
We'll get to some questions.
475 is cheap. That is a cheap rent. I got you there. Man,
that's my storage, isn't it? I mean, I'm like, that's a car garage.
But the thing I love about this is if you just focus on 2 deals a year, in 5 years, I had a buddy of mine tell me this years ago. He invests in San Diego and strip centers, so he's a pretty high level investor. And he used to tell me all the time, Mike, don't swing for the fences. Do 1 strong deal a year. And I've ramped that up because I could do easily 2 deals a year. So I'm like, okay, 2 deals a year, 1 every 6 months. You just do that. Stop trying to swing for the fences. Watch in 5 years, you won't even be able to recognize your life.
It's crazy. Yeah. I know I don't recognize mine. I'm like, it takes time though, man. I know Jim Rohn always says, stop worrying about what you're going to do in a year. Look at your life in 5-year increments. And that stuff is just so true, man. You'd be surprised.
It's so true,
right?
So true. You're 100% right, man.
So any other pictures on that, Michael? We done with that?
That's what I have for that one because I wanted you to see the inner workings of that deal specifically. Like I said, we want to get more interiors for you guys, but it's 100% occupied. Every single
question on that
has a tenant in it.
How do you do with that? Do you have an inspector inspect all of the units?
Great question. No, we do not. We have what's called a building and site inspector. They inspect the foundation, the roof, the integrity of just the building itself, and looking around for mold, asbestos. We do a termite inspection, that kind of thing. But with every single unit, it would be a lot more money. We've never gotten in trouble with this. Now, if you find some termite damage in a place of the building, you're probably going to want to expand your inspection. But usually you want to do a site and building inspection, which is actually of the structure. Make sure the roof and the integrity of the building is intact and the foundation is good. And that's where you're going to be all your safety stuff and your main stuff. And that's what we inspect on. We don't inspect every single unit. Even in the big boys that are inspecting these big 300-400 unit buildings, they're not sending somebody into every unit.
How much is that, Mike?
So depending on the size of the building, this building was about $3,000.
For inspection.
For an inspection,
cool.
Yeah, because it's a big property, right?
Yeah.
You can get it done we got some quotes for $1,800, almost half. But the more I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know. They felt a little weak, so I wanted an inspector. But let me tell you something about an inspector. You want an inspector on every project, and here's why. They're going to bring you back because they don't get paid to find nothing. They're going to work to look for something.
Yeah.
Then usually I get my inspectors paid for and go back to the owner and say, listen, the inspector found some stuff, so we would like you to clean up this stuff or just give us a credit so we can do it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that works very, very well because we end up getting money off the building that can pay for that stuff and we don't have to swallow. I just am selling. I have a couple small little multis in Michigan that I owned. My very first buildings I bought years ago. a duplex, and they came back. They had an inspection. They came back with a list of stuff, and we knew it was a fixer upper. I bought it years ago, and so we took some money off so that they had some money to fix it. And so even I did that. So the truth is it's a good way to do it. So inspectors are worth the money that you invest in them.
Roundup, get your questions in the chat there. I got a couple here, Mike.
Yeah, go for it.
I know in single family, this is the Chris show, so y'all, you don't mind if I ask my questions first, and then you can get
Bring it, Chris.
About like in real estate, we're selling houses over appraised value. I can't even. I feel terrible because I don't get to. I used to have like a rehab live where I bring people through and they can see the house. I can't even show them anymore because they're sold. The first person that walks through the door is buying them. Is the multifamily on fire like single family is right now?
Yes, it is. It's yes. You have to work harder to find deals than we usually do. But this is what I'm telling everybody. It's patience and persistence. You need to be patient and continue to persist looking for that deal and then go. We had a student I just talked to a few minutes ago. She just went under contract with another student go under contract in Cincinnati. And a lot of our students are going under contract, but they've had to underwrite 20, 30, 40 deals, right? They're willing to put in the work. I'm not going to sell you this idea that, man, it's just turnkey, boom. Multifamily, it takes some elbow grease. The payoff is worth it, but it takes some elbow grease, man.
That's real estate in general.
Yeah, it is, dude. I'm like this whole like get rich quick stuff. It sells well. It does not apply well. It's just not a thing. Man, I've worked my butt off on real estate for years to figure this out and made every mistake. I hired a property manager one time and she lied to me and she didn't even live in the state that my properties were in. Her company was there. She wasn't even there and her team was awful. It cost me thousands. So I've made so many mistakes. I've made them, dude. I mean, I have made them.
Mike, okay, I'm sorry.
Bring it, brother.
We got 45. We got to get to your duplex. Tell me about the area, Mike. Does the area like in single family? I may have a couple ugly houses that are not desirable for my value on my house. Is that so much important with multifamily too?
Yeah, so good question. In multifamily, there's A, B, C, and D class areas and properties. The area is more important than the property because the property, as long as it's in a good area, you can just fix up the property. For A, B, C, we go by the area. So A is primarily homeowners, very little rentals, but if there is an apartment building, it's usually a really beautiful, high amenities, pools, clubhouses, kind of a house.
Sweet.
Then you have class, and by the way, on class A, very hard to get cash flow. Very hard to get cash flow, but you buy for appreciation, not cash flow. Most of them don't make any money when you buy them. They buy them and hold them for 3-5 years and sell them for millions of dollars more, but they don't make any money when you own them. Class B properties are some primarily homeowners, but some renters in those types of areas. A lot of single family homes, some 4 units in duplexes and maybe a nice apartment building, but it's still primarily homeowners. Class C, welcome to the moneymaker. Class C is primarily renters, some homeowners. But let me tell you, C-class areas, C-class properties are where the money's made because you can get enough cash flow and that appreciation that it makes it worth it for your investors. So I tell you, C is where the millions are made. It's where everybody should start. In Class D, that's the war zones. And I'm telling you, Class D, we always say in multifamily stands for Class Don't because it looks good on a spreadsheet. You'll write all the numbers out like, whoa, this thing makes like crazy money. It does not, because most of the time people aren't paying and it's not. I mean, it might look well on paper, it just doesn't work well in reality.
Vacancies, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, Class D, Class Don't. And so, yeah, that's how it works in multis.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Round up, get your questions in. We had, let's see what we got here. Mike's going to have he got some goodies for you. Mike's, TTO, get you in the grind. Let's see. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you. You're welcome, LGNA.
Absolutely.
I had a member question. Let's see.
Pleasure.
Mostly comments. Somebody want to know how you structure it step by step. Yeah, we went over that. Stocks and bonds make money growing. Oh, okay. Most people You hear my kid screaming in the back? Can you hear him, Mike?
Yeah, man. You know what, Chris? That just shows me you got life and love in the home, brother. Life and love. Your videos with your kids, dude, are some of the funniest things I've ever seen, man. I love them.
God help me, Mike.
When you
Pray
were
for me.
showing your daughter about money and just talking to her about the math, I was dying, man. You had me laughing so hard.
With the job?
Yeah. You had me laughing so hard, dude. My wife and I'm like, hon, you got to come see this. It was freaking hilarious. I was laughing like crazy, dude.
Scott wants to know, there's nothing in Hampton Roads for decent areas. Everything multifamily is in high crime areas around here. How do you suggest we find inventory? I think Scott might be thinking that he needs to invest in his backyard, Mike, where
Yeah,
you was at
yeah. That's
before.
I'm glad you brought that up, Scott, because I don't own any multifamilies in the city I live in. I live in
That's
Phoenix,
crazy, man.
and I don't own one multifamily. Everything else is long-term investing. So part of that is learning. Don't invest in your backyard. Invest in the good markets, and you want to pick those good markets to invest in rather than your backyard. So I would just focus on finding good areas and good managers in those areas, and then you can manage the manager.
Manage the manager.
Because if we're only focusing on our backyard, first of all, when you only focus on the city you live in, you shut yourself off to most of the world's opportunity.
You know what? It takes a little maturing to understand that concept and philosophy. You know,
It does. It does.
Helping Hands. How did you find the owner information to reach out to them?
Great question. So my broker found it on just public records. Just looked up public records. They had an LLC filed, and he looked it up under what LLC and who owned it, and just reached out to him.
Gotcha.
First of all, just left him a message. Just said, "Hey, my name's John. His name's John. My name's John. I'm from XYZ Brokers. Real estate agents. I'm looking at your property at so and so. Got a buyer," and then went through the line that I mentioned earlier.
LG in LA. 470.
Yeah, no kidding. In Southern California, yeah, you talk about a storage unit. You're right. You ain't getting a doghouse for that.
Yeah, dog.
You ain't getting anything, man. Not for $475, or you probably don't want to live there if it is $475.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be crazy. Blessing, how you doing? Thank you. Thanks for the golden nuggets. Bud says thanks for the golden
You're welcome, bud. Thanks for joining us.
Scott, do you use master leases? Do you master leases with owners directly?
Yeah, so we have a master lease with my property manager does, and we have each specific individual sign that lease. And there's a couple addendums to the lease, like we have a pet fee, and if they want to bring in pets, so we start with a master structure, and then we add on if they want added on.
Got it. That's Roz L. How did you qualify a good market? What do you look for?
Oh, yeah, good question. So I'm going to tell you something real quick. I'm going to tell you a quick side note. I look for three things, but here's what you want to follow. Follow jobs. Follow jobs. That's all. You can worry about everything else. Just follow jobs. If you follow jobs and look for landlord-friendly areas, but follow jobs, you will never lose in multifamily. That's why Atlanta and Austin are exploding. That's why Nashville's exploding. Do you know Tennessee last year in America, more people moved to Tennessee than any other state in the country?
I didn't know that.
That's why Tennessee's blowing up right now on every front. Jacksonville, Memphis, Nashville, you can't, just exploding because more people are moving there than any other state. Jobs. That's all. You focus on jobs, especially in a post-COVID world or a pre-post-COVID world. Jobs are even more important. So looking at the job structure and what types of jobs the industry, the area is dependent on. If you're going into a one-horse town that has gas stations and diners, you just want to be careful of that kind of stuff. You want to go where the jobs are going. I'm telling you, you'll never lose going where jobs are. Ever.
How about following Amazon, Mike? Is that because I know they're building a lot of just fulfillment factories around.
Yep, following Amazon, Tesla. Tesla's built a lot of manufacturing centers. That's where Austin and Atlanta, they built one in both. But Amazon, you can definitely follow Amazon. Because Amazon brings with every distribution center anywhere from 3,000 to 12,000 jobs, depending on the size. And so you're going to get just beast amount of jobs influxing into that area. So definitely, absolutely.
Well, Mike, we hit 70 people here, 75 people.
Welcome, everybody. I said, welcome, everybody.
You got any goodies you can give them? I know you were talking about some class you were doing. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. So we are actually on May 17th, 1 week from today, hosting my very first ever free 5-day invest in multifamily challenge. So we're actually going to do a 5-day challenge. I'm bringing in guest speakers. Chris is actually going to be there. We're bringing in some beasts in the industry of real estate. But I'm going to be there for 5 days, walking through the deals of multifamily, how to structure them, how to create them, how to work with them. We're going to be talking. My team's going to be there. My coaches are going to be there to be able to continue to help shape this mind around multifamily. We launched into this year, actually in the last 3 months, we started asking the question, our mission at my company is to help 10,000 people get a piece of multifamily real estate. And we thought, okay, well, we can't do that one-on-one. How do we do this? So we wanted to have a big challenge where we can help as many people as possible. So it's a free 5-day challenge. You can go, I'm sure Chris has got a link somewhere. You can hit that link. You can go sign up for the free 5-day challenge. You're going to join me in a Facebook group. I'm going to go live 5 days in a row and drop a lot of multifamily content in those 5 days. I'm going to walk through some deals I've done. I'm going to walk through, where you should be looking for deals, why people are failing in the market right now, how you can make sure you don't fail. I'm going to be interviewing a broker, and like seriously, like a broker,
a commercial broker.
Yeah, these are the people that send me deals, man. I mean,
they're very hard to get on, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they are
very hard.
He's going to walk you through exactly how to. He's going to walk you through what to do. I mean, he's there. He's my broker in Lexington, Kentucky. And so I said, hey, buddy, will you mind coming on and talking to people and tell them why you don't call some of them back and why you do call others back? And he's like,
they ain't got no time.
Yeah,
they got no time.
And so because I met him on LinkedIn and got him to call me back and sent me one of his best deals, and he's going to walk through why he did that and how I did that. And so we're going to walk through that on one of the calls. And so I wanted him to be there. So he's going to be. We're just going to have some beasts in the industry there, and I really, really would love. I'm giving away $10,000 in prizes for the people that show up, and yeah, man, we're giving away, I think, an Apple Watch, a stand-up desk. I started using a stand-up desk lately. Me too. And I'm actually going to get back to it. I moved here with one, then I sold it because I wanted to go to a 2-monitor system. And they're hard to do on a standing desk because they move and it jacks your monitors up when they're moving, right? And so, but I found out I can get an attachment here and stand up and work for a while, and it really is good for your health. So I'm like, this is really good. Be giving away a Yeti mic because every real estate investor to some level should be a content creator.
That's right.
So I'm gonna let you know how to do that as well, and maybe Chris will give us some nuggets because ain't nobody I know better in the content industry than you, my friend. I mean, you're always telling me, dude, you guys just got to do this. I'm like, it's so true.
It's hard to do. You know what? People don't have any idea how hard it is to do business. Matter of fact, it's hard just to be in business and then record it and further make it make sense to the viewer. You're talking about it just takes. Anyway, it ain't no joke, brother.
Yeah. Absolutely. So our goal is to have, we're going to push we're probably going to have 400 or 500 people at least in this challenge. And You're going to come and take a journey with people learning how I walk through deals. You're going to see some of our students talk a little bit about how they found deals and what they're doing specifically to put deals under contract. And so,
there it is.
And so, yeah, so come and specifically the reason I launched this is I want to help people retire in 5 years. That's my desire. Because I'll be perfectly straight. My greatest passion is to spend time with my beautiful bride, and real estate's allowed me to do that. Like, I don't have kids, so my nephews, they live in 3 different states. They are I want to be able to travel and see them. I want to be able to hang out with my wife. I want to be able to do things that real estate allows me to do. And I was able to hit that retirement income with multifamily at age 40. And I want people to be able to do it in 5 years so that you can do whatever your mission is. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe it's travel, maybe it's help your church, maybe it's give to your community, maybe it's whatever that is. I don't know, but I want to see that all head your way. And most people taking surveys say the reason they don't fulfill their mission is because of the funds. They have to work or they have to create money so they can pay their bills. What if that was taken off the table? So that's why I started this. And you'll notice one of those dudes on there, Mr. Chris Haskins, will be hanging with me.
I don't think people take that seriously enough. For me, I didn't even think, I grinded so hard, grinding. Then I got here. It's like, damn, what do I do? I mean, what do I do? What do you do? It's like, what do you do with your life if you don't have to worry about once that's satisfied, and I don't think of it as, I don't think we give that enough credence and enough thought because we're trying to get there so much.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, dude. And I'll tell you, the why, if you don't have massive reasons,
Yeah, you won't.
You'll just give up.
You give up.
You just give up, man. I'll tell you, I mean, if I don't get up with reasons,
Yeah.
I've been working on my health a lot lately and realizing that, man, if I don't treat my health well, I won't be able to run the race and the mission that I've been called to. Got to treat myself well, and especially you moms and dads out there that are burning the candle at both ends, you got to take care of yourself. And so, but that reason, the mission in your mind, and that's why multifamily for us is more mission and ministry than it is building. I don't care about the bricks and mortars and shingle. I care about the freedom so that I can, when my sister calls up and says I need something, I can help.
Or be somewhere.
Exactly.
Roundup. The video is in the link. The link is in the video description. The link is in the video description for Mike's free multi-challenge, 5-day free multi-challenge. Mike, what time is there a certain time you start every day?
Yeah,
will they get all that?
At 10 a.m. Pacific each morning. But if you miss one, 10 a.m. Pacific each morning, and then we'll actually come back on the evening for some sessions at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 Eastern. So it'd be 10. It's 1 and 7 Eastern. And so, but the cool thing about that is they'll be in the Facebook group. If you miss a day, you can go back and watch them. That's why we're doing them there.
So the free access gives them the Facebook group too?
Yep. You're in the Facebook group. That's where you can get all the content. You can hop on. You'll be in the Facebook group or a Zoom link. Our team is setting all that up. How you'll get the content, and that'll all be communicated with you. And so but they'll all be streamed to the Facebook group. You go in there. The cool thing about that Facebook group, I think we just opened this thing up and we're almost I think we're just under 100 people, but wow. There's going to be people in there that are doing the same thing. So you guys can post questions and, hey, I'm looking at this area. What do you guys think? You've got other students, my coaches, and people that are going to be in there to be there to help. And this is the power of the community.
Well, Mike, you got 95 people on here, man. Let's get them on this thing. It's free. I don't know how he's doing it. Your team, no doubt this stuff costs money.
Yeah.
Do all this stuff.
I'll tell you. I mean, you come in for free. We're doing some extra training if you want it. You'll see that when you opt in. We're doing some extra training with some extra speakers. If you want the VIP experience, you'll be taken right to a page and given that opportunity if that's of interest to you. If not, come and join us and ride the ride for free. No biggie. And come hang out with us for 5 days, because I can guarantee you we are going to be dancing on the dance floor real estate that week, man. I mean, I'm so jacked up. But we've been planning. Our team's been planning this. Chris and I've been talking about it for almost a month, and I've been talking to my team. Our team's been planning this and trying to work all the bugs out, and we really, really want to give you all some gems. So if you think Chris and I dropped some stuff, 5 days, you're gonna have your head full, I assure you.
That is cool. So Roundup, that link is in the video description. Go ahead and head over there right below. Mike gave me a special link to sign up. It's absolutely no charge. You can join them. It's going to be in this Facebook group, and they're going to repeat it. It starts 10 a.m. Pacific 1 week from today. 1 week from today.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So Mike, final thoughts. I got to get out of here. I hear people calling me. We haven't done dinner yet, so I need to get
Yeah. I've got actually another speaking gig to get to too. So so the reason the 5 free day multifamily challenge exists is to help people retire in 5 years and create a stream of income. That's really why it exists.
Gotcha.
But our passion is to help 10,000 people get a piece of multifamily real estate. That's what we're trying to do. We'd love you to be our next success story. Literally, we're not selling anything. We're just inviting you to come in, hang out with us for 5 days. If you want some extra training, you'll see how to get it once you come in. But the truth is, we just want you to come hang out with us for 5 days, because we're going to be having a blast around multifamily. Whole thing's going to be multifamily, but we have some speakers coming in talking about Airbnb, talking about mobile home parks, talking about some different things that you're not going to want to miss. So I really, really, I'd be honored if you came and joined us for 5 days. So come and join us. We'd love to have you.
Okay, Roundup, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. The button, I don't see but a few likes. Hit that thumbs up button, Roundup. You know I'm working for you. I'm sitting here.
Come on now. Look at that. He's got the sledgehammer. Chris, you have better props than any YouTuber I know, my friend. You got the brick, that big block you hold up, man. You got the sledgehammer. You taking it to a new Christian. It makes me look bad, man. I'll tell you what.
Mike, you crazy. I'll
You
just
got
sit
the
around
best
and
thing ever, but definitely hit that thumbs up.
yeah, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel Roundup. Make sure you share with anybody else that's interested in multi-family real estate. Mike is the master. I've seen him do it, man. I don't know how you do it. All right, I'll see you guys soon on the next video.
See
Peace.
you guys in the challenge. Have a good one.